Hey Poppets, welcome to day 22 of 30 days of cleaning with me, Hayley. Today's clean, we are taking on the fridge. Now, when it comes to cleaning fridges, my best advice would be make sure you clean it before you go and do your grocery shop. So for you guys, I have got a whole host of stuff we're going to be going through. Every time we do our food shop and place groceries into our fridge, we introduce new microbes. So it's no secret that every fridge worldwide will contain bacteria, but just how many depends on two things. One, how often we clean our fridges, and two, the temperature we have set on our fridge. According to the UK Food Standards Agency, the ideal fridge temperature for food is 8 degrees and below. Taking into account the temperature drop from opening and closing of the fridge door, the fridge should be set at a temperature between 1 and 5 degrees. A study found that 7 out of 10 fridges contain harmful bacteria. The worst cases from the study found high levels of bacteria that can cause a variety of illnesses and infections, including sepsis. Now we understand why it is so important for us to keep our fridges clean. Let's get into cleaning them, sanitising them, and tackling day 22. For today's clean, you are going to need 2 items. One is going to be baby sterilising fluid, and the second is going to be a toothbrush or OXO Good Grips. This is currently what my fridge looks like. It is not looking too grey, it just looks a bit messy and not as uniformed as what I would normally like it to look. So what we're going to do is we're going to start removing everything out of our fridges. So we're going to start going through all our things. We're going to toss out anything that doesn't need to be in here anymore. Any things like sauces and jars that you have, read the back of them, because on them, although they might have a shelf life until 10 years time, some of them will say once opened, toss away within 5 days, toss away within 3 days. So make sure you check that, because just because the shelf life on them says February 2022, that doesn't mean that they're good to keep in the fridge until then if they're open. So make sure you check things like that as well. Anyway, with that, let's get into cleaning our fridges. While our trays are soaking in our sterilising fluid, we can go ahead and grab ourselves a dishcloth and we can start wiping over the inside of the fridge. This has got our baby sterilising fluid on it also. This is just going to be sure to sanitise the whole of the fridge safely. If you find you've got any sticky spillages, go ahead and use the C before D method. My fridge gets done quite regularly, so for me, every time before I go to the store, I will clean out our fridge. However, if you find that you leave your fridge slightly longer, you might find that you've got stickiness in it or spillages from a sauce or jam or whatever. Then you want to go ahead and, like I said, do the C before D method. So you're going to use antibacterial dish soap for that, and then go over it with the sterilising fluid afterwards. The dish soap will just help in terms of pulling out any gunk. I want you to pay particular attention to the rubber seal. This is a place where bacteria, because it's an enclosed environment and it's nice and snug, bacteria thrives in this section. So you do want to use a toothbrush or an OXO Good Grip just to go around the seal. These are brilliant, these OXO Good Grips, because these in particular have got the silicone ends to them, so you can literally just place it in, dip it in your sterilising fluid and just scrape it along, and it's not going to damage your rubber seal. And do that the whole way round. So that is the process process of our fridge clean. It's really, really basic, really simple, but it doesn't have to be any more than that. This is efficient enough for you to kill germs and bacteria safely in your fridge. Now we've done that, let's move on to the cleaning of our trays. With the trays and baby sterilising fluid, you want to keep them immersed for at least half an hour in the solution. This is what is going to kill off any germs and bacteria that are on the trays. I do often put mine through my dishwasher on the hygiene setting, but this is a nice easy way to do it as well when it comes to cleaning your fridge. So once they've been immersed for about half an hour, you can obviously tackle your fridge while they're soaking. Leave them in there for half an hour and then you can begin the process of wiping them over. So you want to make sure that there's no grime on them. Again, if you find that your trays are sticky before you get to this process, wash them first with dish soap and then soak them in the sterilising fluid. There's no point trying to tackle it with sterilising fluid because it's not the right thing. This is to disinfect and sanitise as opposed to actually clean. So you're better off using a cleaner like dish soap to get rid of any kind of residue on your trays if you have them. And once you have wiped them over, if you've got these bits on your fridge, make sure these come out as well, and you're going to use a good grip to get into the crevices. And then just wipe around the glass and do the same on the other side. The same thing with your trays that you keep in your fridge. These I showed you guys a little while ago are from Poundland. These are just so helpful when it comes to keeping my fridge organised. And literally just wipe them over with the solution and then just put them on the side. These are going to then dry. From my fridge are air drying on the side, I am going to head to the grocery store and pick up my groceries for the rest of the week. I am back from the store, guys, and I have put all of my trays that are now dry back into my fridge. This is what the fridge now looks like, and it is now ready to be loaded up for the rest of the week. When I come back from the store, what I do is I make sure before I touch anything that I wash my hands, doing the happy birthday song twice. I've always done this pre-COVID-19. Whenever I've come into my house from the outside, I've always liked to wash my hands just because Hayley's hygiene, that's why. So we're going to wash our hands first and then we're going to press on to sanitising our food before we go ahead and start storing it away. Really important that you do this, guys, especially with COVID-19 at the moment. You really do need to make sure that you're wiping your food down and sanitising them before you go ahead and store them away. Wiped down and stored away within the fridge. This is how I like to store my fridge. It is neat, it is tidy. I find that using these trays just keeps everything a lot more organised and just neat looking, and if there are any spillages, it's not going to go onto the actual glass trays, it's going to stay within these containers. So I do find these really, really useful. I like to store any meats at the bottom. These are raw meats, so things like beef, mince, chicken, anything like that goes at the very bottom. Then I like to store sandwich meats, not directly above, but on the next shelf above. Then I will also store things like yogurts, cheeses as well will go on this shelf. And then at the very top, always, I make sure I put things like our fresh fruit and salads. The reason that I do this is with them being at the very top, this ensures that there is no possible way that any raw meat can go on top of them. And I do find that this is the safest way and the most efficient way at keeping your fridge organised and safe. Thanks so much guys for joining me on today's fridge clean. I hope you have found it helpful. If you have any questions, let me know below in the comments and I will get back to all of you and answer them. Like always, don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you are new here, because we would surely love to have you. And I will see you again on day 23 of 30 Days of Cleaning with Hayley. Until then team, keep it clean. Mwah.